Welcome, adventurer. Today we're going to be testing whether or not the Dark Souls roll, or the Dark Souls roll I should say, is possible and or if it's even effective in combat. So now we are not professionals. Please note that before we start anything. We are dumb kids with some armor on. So if you do wish to test this for yourself, be safe, wear some armor, the main stuff, head, gauntlet, chest, and don't use live swords, but just be safe. Also take note, we're not, again, professionals, and I'm not too experienced with rolling or much like official sparring. And so if you notice anything we're doing wrong, which is probably a lot, like rolling wise, I'm not a jiu-jitsu student, so I wouldn't really know too much about rolling or any of that. So if you are, and if you have any recommendations for things that we should try out, or different forms, or anything in particular, leave it in comments below, and when we make a part 2, because we are going to be making part 2, that's when we'll try them out, and yeah. And consider subscribing, since you're already down there, it helps us a lot more than you think, especially since we're just getting started with this whole thing. With that, let's get into it. You fighting me rolling. How's that?
I'm not used to it. Every time you hit the ground and roll toward me, I try to thrust, but I also try to back up, and then I end up missing.
Yeah. So would you say it's effective?
I'd say it's effective. I'd say it's effective to a certain extent, but if you overdo it, you're just going to tire yourself out and start getting lazy with blocks.
That's true. That's true. So first off, we started by testing rolling without armor by itself, and then rolling in combat. And I must say, this worked a lot better than I thought it would. And I really just think he would be able to stab me while I was rolling, but it seems like the surprise of the roll, mixed with my sword, kind of like protecting me if you see how it spins while I'm on the ground, he seemed to be, for the most part, unable to stab me in the roll. And so the only huge flaw with this fight was, well, when I rolled, he would move back, and then I miss, and then I'm wide open and on the ground, so that's when he stabbed me. The roll itself isn't too bad. It's after that roll, you're dazed, confused, don't really know where you are, and you're just a big wide open target if you don't know what you're doing. Secondly, with the shield. So this worked alright. It was a little cumbersome, not really too easy to fight with, and added one more thing that was like weighing me down. And so you can't use it when you're like rolling or coming out of the roll. So it doesn't really affect the rolling too much. Last but not least, we'll be testing greatswords.
Bruh.
That's a slow roll.
That's not even a roll, that was like a... Alright, let's try two hands.
It's like when you crash to the ground.
And as you can see, unlike in Dark Souls, you cannot roll with the Dragon Slayer or any weapon based or looking like the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. Yeah. There's no way I'm rolling with this. That worked better. That wasn't too bad.
That might be better than the first one.
Because I can use the pommel to like lift myself off the ground.
You're not in frame yet.
Yeah, I could see that kind of working. Let me try and do a combo out of it. I'm not used to armor, so I mean. 1, 2, roll. tests we did for today. So was this effective, all in all? I'd say this was pretty effective. Well, okay. So some of you are probably going to be like, oh, this is terrible, never use it, ever, never. And other people will be like, this is the best thing ever, use it all the time, it's the best trick in the book. Which is neither of those answers. From what I've seen so far, and just so far, with my limited experience and education in this sort of field, I'd say that this is effective for very certain circumstances, and with very certain weapons. And I found that, I predict for next time, the reason I wasn't hitting him was because my sword wasn't long enough. And I never actually got around to trying to fight with a Montante while rolling. Just because of, it got so hot out and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't bear with, when I have the armor on. And so I was like, it's fine. I doubt it would work anyway. And so now when I'm thinking back though, I think it would work best. And because I was just this, I'd say like this further or this far away from hitting him sometimes. But if I had the Montante, that would just straight hit him. And then my sword would reach first. Theoretically, of course. And the other thing I want to test to see if it'll be effective in is if you're already on the ground. So, like, let's say you get knocked to the ground and you're, like, on the battlefield and someone starts charging at you. Is rolling effective then? Because then, you're already on the ground, so it kind of defeats the whole purpose of, oh, you don't want to get on the ground with armor on. Which I get. And so, the other thing I want to see is different types of armor. So I'm going to wait a little while for this part 2. So subscribe and put on your notifications so that you see it, because it might be a few months from now. I want to get some different armor and some different swords and see if that's going to work or have a difference in rolling. So yeah, if you have any suggestions of things you want me to check out, or try, or all of that, put them in the comments below. And since you're already down there, subscribe. Join the club. Comment and subscribe. Fuel the algorithm, God. There's only one God. But, it's a joke. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you want to see next time. Farewell, friends.